What we have here is this. A bill for 58.08 includes 21% VAT. So look, your original bill was worth 100% and it was equal to some number here. But what happens was you got 21% VAT added onto that, and what it became was a bigger number, 5808. So your original bill is a smaller number than your 5808. So you're expecting a number around 40 or 50 euro somewhere, okay? So what you're going to have to do is you have to find out what 1% is. So to find out what 1% is, you get your 5808 and you divide it by 121. So when you divide it by 121, you find out that 1% is 0.48. Now your job is to find out what 100% is. 100% is 100 times bigger than 1%. So you multiply by 100 and you figure out that the original bill was worth 48 euro. Okay? Now if you work backwards, 48 euro plus 21% of 48 euro, that would get you your 58.08. That's the way it works, okay? But you have to work backwards at the start. Any questions? Okay, good. Question 9. A boy bought a calculator for this much, which included VAT at 15%. It includes 15%, so how much is that worth then? 100% is how much it was before VAT. How much VAT did we add on? 115. So 115% is, anybody? 74, 75, okay? Now, we would usually find out what 100% is. 100% is how much does it cost before VAT is added on. But that's not the question, is it? The question is, it wants the VAT to 12%, doesn't it? So if you add on 12%, how much percentage do you have? It'd be 112% as opposed to 115. So we're expecting a tiny reduction, aren't we? So divide by 115. So my 74, 75. Divide that by 115. And you get a 0.65. So 1% equals 0.65. And then finally multiply that by 112 to find out what 112% is. And we find out that it's 72 euro and 80 cents. A very small reduction indeed. Is that right? Now, 13. A salesperson commission for selling a car is 2.5% of the selling price. If the commission for selling a car was 350, calculate the selling price. So here's what happens. 2.5% of the selling price is worth 350 euro. Is that right? 100% is the full selling price. So can anybody tell me how to find out what 1% is? Divided by? Divided by 2.5. So 350 divided by 2.5. Okay. Give me a second. 140. And then multiply 140 by 100. What do you get for your answer? I'm about to get 14,000 as well. So we're both right. Okay. So turn 1% into 100% by multiplying by 100, and when you do that, you'll get 14,000. Everybody right with that? Okay, I think they're quite easy. Now, what about 17? Would have done a bit on this yesterday. Any ideas? What we got for Kane? Any ideas on this one? Huh? Yeah. 93% of your total volume. So if you imagine a container, okay? The container has this much petrol, and then it has a small amount of oil on top. Okay, so it's 93% petrol, and it just has like 7% oil. You're told how much petrol you have. How much petrol do you have? 37.2 liters. Okay. So how much is the oil worth? So your goal is to find out what 7% is in volume. So how do you manage to get that, Sean? How do you get to 1%? How? Shh. Dividing by? Nearly. Divide by 93. And then you find out what 1% is. 1% is 0.4. And then how do I find out what 7% is? So it's 7 times bigger. 7, and you get your 2.8. Good man. So 2.8 litres. Okay, we're good. Okay. Pilco. A lottery has a first prize, 70% of the prize fund goes to it. Second prize is 30%. 6 people shared the first prize and each received 3,500. How much do you think the first prize is worth if only one person won it? So 3,500 multiplied by the 6 people. If one person won it, it was worth 21,000, yeah? What percentage allocation was that worth? First prize was how much of the total fund? 70%. Okay? That's for first place. Now, how much was the consolation prize? How much percentage was that worth? Says 30 here. So we change that to 30. How do you change a 70 into a 30? What number do we always go through? 1. How do you change 70 into 1? Divided by 70. It's 70 times smaller. So that will turn that into 300, is it? 300? Let's go with 300. Okay. What's 30 times bigger than 300? Huh? 9,000. So this 9,000 euro is the consolation prize. How many people actually won the consolation prize? 450 people won the consolation prize. So it was worth 9,000 euro, but 450 of us won it. So we have to divide 9,000 divided by 450 people. 20 yo-yos, okay? So 20 euros. We good with that? Okay.